Hi, I thought I'd do another follow-up video on the ME3000 electric gates and common faults because there's another couple of faults that are worth mentioning and I had to fix recently, so the lessons learned may be useful to other people. So the three, maybe two issues sort of related can be summed up as the linkage, ice and drainage. So one of the common problems with these motors is this spline detachment from the motor onto the arm that drives the gate. Over time these splines on the shaft can become so worn that the linkage arm is free to rotate independent of the motor, which of course then stops your gates from opening. And as you can probably see here, I've got some welds, a little bit messy, but I didn't want to weld too much on here, so I've done some spot welds in 4 or 5 places, just enough to connect the iron of the motor shaft onto the linkage arm without getting the motor shaft so hot that it damages the motor or the seals around it. So I did a little spot weld, leave it to cool down a bit. It's perhaps useful to have water surrounding the motor to keep the motor cool as well, and then move on to the next spot weld. I've had to do that on most of my motors on the electric gates I've got at this property because they are quite a few years old and they've all worn out, but welding them is a pretty good solution. I did have a replacement bolt going in the side to try and attach the arm to the motor shaft, but it was never a perfect join, and in the end I was trying to tighten it so much that the bolt snapped off anyhow, so I just had to resort to welding. So the sort of welder you want is what hobbyists use, or car mechanics, a little bit like over here, which is quite a cheap MIG welder with mild steel and CO2 used as the welding gas. Only costs slightly over £100, but you can look up your local welding chap, or maybe you know a friend has got one. That's one common issue. The other interesting issue I had recently in the very cold weather was because of the poor drainage, the box is full of water. The water turned to ice because it's so cold, and the ice actually pushed off the linkage arm, which is just a straightforward drop connection between this arm and the arm of the actual gate, which then meant the gate stopped working. And of course that is all down to the drainage of the box. Temporarily I had to put some antifreeze in it and a bit of oil to break up the ice and stop the ice forming. But long term it was a problem with the drain tube, which on this installation is down there where my finger is pointing, and it becomes blocked up with bits of debris and insects and so on. And what I've had to do for a more permanent solution is dig up the drive. You can see here. So before it was like this, and even with the addition of this little wall that I built on the uphill side and sealing around the plate with this silicone adhesive, water was still getting in the box around where the shaft rotates because there's no real effective seal around here. Tried putting grease on it, but it's not really a water seal. And if water gets in and doesn't drain out, of course the box fills up with water. And if it's anything like this installation, there's no soak away for the water to go to. This is the drainage pipe here that goes onto the motor box. This is just all surrounded by gravel, so no real flow through it, no soak away underneath. So what I've done is dug out this little ditch, as you can see here. So plenty of area for the water to soak away into. And what I'm going to do is just use this piece of gutter, nice round piece of gutter, to put over the top of something like, what, half a metre, 3/4 metre long stretch, and then I'm going to put sand over that area, gravel back on again. Because it's round, that performs or gives you quite a bit of structural support, leaves an air gap underneath, plenty of space for the water to soak away into the ground, and hopefully that will be a long-term solution for making sure that the box drains out correctly. To unblock the pipe in the first place, it's useful to have a straightened coat hanger like here, which you can then poke up the drainage tube and unblock it and get the water to flow out. You might want to put a hose pipe or a bucket of water in your motor box. It's all waterproof in there to get it to flow out correctly. So that should then stop your box from filling up with water, stop ice from forming, stopping your gate working, and hopefully that might be useful for somebody else that has gate problems with their nice electric gates. The motor model is a ME3000. On the box it says MEC1. Based on the number of views I'm getting on my other videos, up to about 8,000 views for these nice electric gates, and I'm guessing quite a few other people have similar problems with them, so hopefully this is useful to somebody out there. Okay, thanks for watching, bye.